But I'm sure many of you know that a verdict has been reached. So it was so intense. I mean, many of you've probably seen the news already, but he was found not guilty on racketeering, not guilty on the sex trafficking of both Cassie and Jane, and then he was found guilty on both of the Mann Act violations. So it was crazy. So it really, hey Carrie, good morning. Really, the jury got in around 9. I mean, I was in line in the security line at, I don't know, maybe 8:57, and I saw a juror, and so I'm like, oh, it'll probably be forever. But then at 9:52, a note came in, and we all ran inside the courtroom, and we just figured they'd be asking for transcripts or testimony or something. But no, I asked someone behind me because I noticed that certain people started coming in the courtroom that hadn't been there previously. And somebody told me that looked kind of important. He said, there is a verdict. And I was like, what? There's a verdict after, gosh, I don't know. It was 57 minutes later. It was crazy. So, oh, and this morning, by the way, Diddy and his family, they were in the courtroom and they all prayed together and then everybody cheered. But let me tell you what happened. I mean, I was so nervous. I don't know. It's like, I'm still kind of like, it's so weird. I'm still kind of all shaky just because it was such an intense moment. So, the four-person juror number 5 stood up, and once he said not guilty on RICO, everybody gasped. I mean, it was crazy gasps in the courtroom. And then once they said not guilty on the sex trafficking of Cassie, that was it. It was like people kind of lost their minds for a second. So, um, yeah, he was on a high. Diddy was, I mean, he was holding Tenny Garagos's hand, and he was so happy. He was looking up, he was praying, he had his hands in his head. But things, I would say Maureen Comey definitely rained on his parade because Mark Agnifilo stood up after, and he basically said, Your Honor, my client has been acquitted of very serious charges now, so we would propose that he gets released today, and so he went through this whole thing about why he should be released to Two Star Island. He has his passport, his plane is chartered, it's somewhere in Maui, he's not a flight risk, all this stuff. And then Maureen Comey got up and she was like, nope, you've seen all of the drug use, you've seen all of the violence. And she basically was like, this is, these are very serious charges, and you saw the conduct surrounding these charges. So and then she said, this could be up, the sentencing could be up to 20 years. So she really, and by the way, I don't think that will be the case at all. I think that's more about trafficking or crossing state lines for prostitution with minors. I think personally he could get like a 2-year sentence with time served or 18 months or something like that. But either way, Maureen Comey just kind of squashed that real quick, and Diddy was like, what the hell? But what's happening is each side has until 1 p.m. to formally submit a motion about why he should be released or if he should stay in jail. And at one point, the judge is like, Mr. Combs, I'm not going to rule on this right now. It will be today at some point, but I know that you don't want to go back to the MDC. And Diddy was like, I don't want to go back. It was quite a moment, and everyone was laughing. So when he adjourned, I mean, the whole side, his whole family was cheering. They were hugging. They were, I mean, it was very emotional. Oh, he profusely thanked the jury. He was over there profusely thanking them, clasping his hands and just nodding at them and thanking them. And it was, I mean, I like I said, I'm still very shaky, and we weren't allowed to do interviews in the hallway, but I did speak to Justin Combs and Charlucci just really quickly, and I just was like, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? And he said, overwhelmed, and I can't read my own handwriting. Overwhelmed and great. I don't know if yeah, I can't really read that. But yeah, this is. Someone asked if I was surprised. No, I don't think I was surprised actually. I really didn't think that the RICO was easy to prove, and I've said this before. I thought that it was. I wasn't super surprised. I thought that it could go either way with Cassie. Definitely thought not guilty with Jane, and I thought guilty on the Mann Act stuff because we kind of saw that on paper, and it's kind of hard to say that he didn't do that when you saw actual tangible evidence. Um, but but again, I actually wasn't super surprised on the RICO and on the trafficking. Again, I think that the jury most likely had somewhat of a hard time maybe convicting him on certain elements of RICO that maybe certain people do every day, like the drug distribution. I mean, I don't know. I would love to speak to a juror. I'm going to try to figure out how to do that. They were actually still upstairs when I left, and we weren't really allowed to hang around. Um, but but yeah, I am curious as to what they were thinking, or if they were just completely hung up on the co-conspirator stuff. So yeah, I am so wondering if he will be released today to go to Two Star Island. Oh, and Agnifilo said they wanted him to be able to go between Two Star Island, New York, and LA, to and he also proposed a $1 million bond as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I am at some point. I'm gonna do a bunch of hits. I have a lot of hits lined up today, but I'll try to go live again at some point. And I feel like I do want to stay. I want to know what's going to happen if he's going to go home. So maybe I'll stay for a little bit. It'll be a couple hours, but I mean, let's see what goes on. I don't know. Should I just? I know. I'm like, I'll stay for a little bit, but again, they're going to submit the paperwork each side by 1 p.m. and then the judge still has to review it. So by the end of the day today, we will know if Diddy is going home for the time being. However, Maureen Comey, it didn't seem like she was taking this as a loss because of how hard she was going. She was going so hard on, we are going to seek like she didn't say these words, the maximum sentence, but she essentially said it in so many ways by throwing out the 20-year thing, so she was definitely not taking this sitting down and not taking this as a loss at all. So we'll know by the end of the day, again, if he's going home. I am just like, wow, wow, wow. This was a crazy morning. I cannot imagine the nerves that his family had and the lawyers had, just because I had so many nerves. I don't know why. When you're sitting there, you're just so nervous for everybody. And I see Diddy's sister walking. I don't know if you can. She's in the pink right there. That's his sister. She's been there a lot. Let me see who else. Yeah, no one's really coming out yet. I think they're just like they're taking it all in. Yeah, I probably will go over to AK later so we can do our stream. I know Sean G is probably like so happy, and I just wonder how others are reacting right now. I'm really anxious to see everybody's reaction. I know, because I don't know. I When we saw that they came back so quickly and everybody assumed it was guilty, 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 and bad for Diddy, what I did think about was the way the jury was laughing at the defense's closing argument. I really thought about that. I was like, wow, this, I really thought that was good for him. And then I did miss the redirect, but a lot of people told me that the redirect was also really amazing. So I wasn't sure. But I'll be back later. I'll give some more updates. I'll give some more details. But wow, I'm gonna hop on to my next hit, and yeah, I'll check back in. But what do you guys think? Is Diddy going home today? What do you think? I don't know. All right, I'll be back later. Thanks, guys.